All right, welcome back, COSA 50 and 650 folks. Professor Almeida here. Happy Thursday, everyone. And yes, I know I said I was going to be in the Canvas live chat, but things happen with technology, especially from what you saw on Monday and then again last night, right? Your internet connection could get a little sketchy when you have torrential downpours and 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds. So thank you for your patience. As soon as I get this video recorded and uploaded, I will join you all in the Canvas live chat. So what I wanted to do is get this video out going into the holiday weekend to remind you of what you need to complete this week and then what the game plan is going to be for next week. So again, thank you for your patience. If you've been waiting in the Canvas live chat, I will join you there as soon as I'm done with this video. Now, onward. Let's get into what you need to complete for this week. Now, what you're looking at right now is the Citrix Student Labs. You can get to this from your Viking portal. And the reason why I have this here is because some of you have asked me about how to work with Microsoft 365 if you don't have the appropriate system. You can see this is web-based, and this launches a virtual Windows environment that you can use, but it should be your last resort, and it also requires an active internet connection. So if you're in the middle of a torrential downpour or it gets very windy outside, I really wouldn't recommend this. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit more about virtual machines in a moment here, especially since some of you are fellow Linux users, and I know some Mac users have also asked as well. So here we are, COSA 50. Let's get into the modules page here. Now, if you haven't done TFS Concepts 1 training yet, now would be a good time to get started. I sent out reminders to the Canvas inbox yesterday for those who haven't started. Even if you add the class late, right? Even if you add the class late, you weren't there on Wednesday or Monday, Monday being in the live chat or looking around in Canvas, you still need to get this training sim turned in. Now, I don't have any COSA 650 folks enrolled at the moment. That's the non-credit version. But if you are watching this from the future and you're in COSA 650, you need to meet this participation requirement. If you still have no idea what you're supposed to do with TFS Concepts 1 training, watch this video and then hopefully you'll be able to follow along. You're just basically watching videos and answering quiz questions, and there are 22 tasks in total. It shouldn't take very long, and it's the easiest way to get points up on the scoreboard, okay? You can verify that you have completed TFS Concepts 1 training by checking your Canvas gradebook and seeing that you got full credit. On Wednesday, we went over Chapter 2, covering the web, so be sure to get that training sim done as well. Now, Week 2 is already open and available. Some of you have jumped ahead already. And for Chapter 3, we will be covering computer hardware. Now, since we're not meeting on campus because of the holiday, and this is going to be the same case again with Monday, February 19th, you are still responsible for this assignment. Now, Chapter 3 talks about computer hardware, and if you've been in IT or if you know something about computers, or better yet, you're a computer professor, you've probably had this conversation with family and friends, especially once they find out that you know a little something about computers. And the conversation usually goes like this. Oh, so you know something about computers. Oh, you work with computers? Oh, you're a computer professor. Well, I have this computer at home. It's old and it's slow, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure, you've had that conversation. Hopefully by the end of Chapter 3, you will be equipped with the knowledge to be able to offer some advice, especially if somebody's looking to get a new system. Or maybe, you're looking for a new system yourself, and you'll be able to figure out the form factors and what's appropriate. Starting with that first basic question, what do you plan on using it for? Okay, that should be your first question. So that is Chapter 3, and I know some of you in the class are Linux users, and you've noticed that I'm running Linux at home. You've asked me about my hardware at home. Let me show you real quick. This is a ThinkPad T490. It has 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD. Yes, this thing is a beast. And I'm sure that, there are better specs out there. But for my needs, this is enough for me here. Now, I'm running MX Linux. MX is basically the spiritual successor to Mepis from back in the day. You can see I'm running KDE Plasma here. And in my older videos, you'll notice that I have Kubuntu. I used to be a long-time Ubuntu user, and then I recently switched over to MX. It feels like going back to the days of Mepis Linux. So I'm basically showing my age here. Okay, so... and also the reason I'm bringing this up because some of you who are using Linux or Mac OS at home, you want to know another way that you can use Microsoft 365 to do the projects later on in the class, but you don't want to deal with Citrix. Let me show you. I have a Windows 11 virtual machine here. Now, Linux folks, you can use VirtualBox. If you're a Mac user, and especially if you're using the M series, so let's say you have an M1, M2, or an M3 Mac, you have what's called parallels. But you can see that if you have the memory and the storage, you can run a virtual machine here. And this is Windows 11. You'll see it booting up. This is something that you can also do if you are technically inclined. And then that way you can install Microsoft 365 on your system and then be able to do your assignments that way. Okay, and you can see that it's thinking for a moment. There's Windows 11 in all of its infinite glory. Okay, so that is another option if you are running Linux or a Mac. Now, I don't offer technical support. And unfortunately, you probably shouldn't expect any technical support when it comes to virtual machines. This is a little more advanced, but I'm showing you yet another option if you can't come to campus and use the COS computer labs. Okay, so with that said, on Wednesday, that is our exam day. Now, again, some of you have already jumped ahead. Others of you have asked if it's okay to do the training sim and then go straight to the exam. If you're more comfortable with that, that is fine with me. Usually the Canvas modules, they're open 2 weeks at a time. So, for example, TFS Concepts 1 training, you want to do the exam for TFS Concepts 1, you can do that. Okay, but I'm giving you the entire class meeting on Wednesday to knock out your exams or to play catch up. So that's the plan on Wednesday. If you want to take the exams from home, you can. I'm going to take attendance by Canvas login, and yes, I do have access to analytics. I can see when you last logged in, how much time you spent on the site, and I also use that information to decide if I'm going to pester you in the Canvas inbox, especially if you're not showing up to class and you're not turning in work. So if you don't want me to bother you through the Canvas inbox, make sure you're coming to class and that you're staying on top of things, especially since this is a 4-unit class. Now, 650 folks, again, I don't have anybody in 650 right now, but if you're watching this from the future, you need to make sure that you're aware of the pace of this class and that you are staying on top of things. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then one other thing I wanted to show you here. If you are done with your exams, we also have the success check-in. Now, if you're in COSA 50, you should already have access to the materials through first day unless you opted out. 650 folks, again, if you're watching from the future, you need to let me know that you have access to SAM. And you can do this in a few short words. And by doing so, you will unlock week 3 when Monday, February 19 rolls around. If you don't participate in the check-in, week 3 is going to stay grayed out until you go into the success check-in forum. All right, so that should be all. And again, as soon as I'm done with this video, I will join you in the Canvas live chat. Now, if you need to see me in person on Friday, I will be available from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Just go to the COS Computer Lab in M229 and let our instructional assistants there know that you want to see me, and then I will come out to meet you, because it is a little hard to get to my office because it is locked. The hallway to it is usually locked. So to make it easier, just go to the COS Computer Lab. That's the same lab we all took that little field trip to, and then I'll come out to meet you. All right, have a good weekend. Stay dry out there. We do get a couple of days, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.